When Apple announced the Apple Silicon chip for their Macs, a lot of people were skeptical on the fact that whether or not it'll be able to take on what has been a very successful run for Apple. The Intel Macs have become really popular and has allowed Apple to sort of come into the main market. MacBooks are one of the most popular laptops today, and iMacs are basically what's been used by creatives for the past couple of years. So Apple's shift to M1 was logical because they weren't able to get the performance benefits that they wanted year over year, and they weren't able to get the thermal performance as well as the power efficiency that they wanted year over year. So Apple announced the Apple M1 chip, which is their first Apple Silicon chip in their Macs, and the Apple Mac Mini is the first device to get the M1 chip. Is the Mac Mini any good? Has it kept up on expectations? And how good is it if you want to buy one today? We're going to answer all of that in this video. This is going to be our Apple M1 Mac Mini review, so let's quickly get started. So the M1 Mac Mini was announced with the M1 MacBook Air and the M1 MacBook Pro, and our video on the M1 MacBook Pro is coming out soon. So you want to be subscribed for that. Hit that subscribe button along with the bell and all notifications turned on so that you get notified when our video goes up. It's coming out soon. So Apple has continued to use the design of the Mac Mini, and it was one of the most popular designs by far for a desktop grade computer. It was used in server farms and by design studios, and it continues to be that small form factor PC that we've seen. It's made out of aluminum and it has the plastic back which allows for Wi-Fi antennas along with the ports that Apple wants to put on there. And then you also have two USB 4/Thunderbolt ports, and you also have gigabit Ethernet. Now you do have some upgradability, and you can do that while you're buying the Mac, and you can customize on the website. So you can upgrade your RAM, you can upgrade your storage, but basically what you get is what you order in the beginning. You can only upgrade the RAM at the time of purchase. So make that decision when you are making that purchase decision, because you will not be able to upgrade the RAM later on because the RAM is on the Apple M1 chip itself. Now, just like the iPhones, the Apple M1 chip combines the graphics and the CPU performance and the RAM all in the single chip. What that enables Apple to do is remove latency, and the time that it takes between the CPU and GPU communications is reduced considerably. And because everything is on this single chip, there is no dependency on outside hardware, including RAM, etc. So that improves the overall performance, and that allows for things like instant wake, which you will see on the MacBook Pro. But also with the Mac Mini, it is basically always on. It's on sleep, and the minute you tap a button on the keyboard, it basically wakes up immediately. Now, the Mac Mini also is enabled with the new operating system, which is Big Sur, and that allows you to run on Apple Silicon-based Macs, and it works really well, surprisingly, because initially when Big Sur came out, there was a lot of confusion with what it will look like, how it will feel with the control center, but it just seems a natural progression from what we had with Catalina. And Big Sur, because it runs iOS apps as well, you can also download things like Instagram. Even though there is quite a setup process, you can download iOS apps directly on Big Sur on Apple M1 enabled Macs. So the Mac Mini does support that. So you do have an iOS apps and iPad apps list in the App Store as well. So you can search through the fully supported list, or you can just simply go and use an alternative method to find IPA files and just download them onto the Mac Mini and basically install them. Another point of contention for the Apple M1 chip was whether or not it'll be able to keep up with Intel-based iMacs, or basically if Apple has taken the right step by introducing their own chips. And initial impressions and initial results are out there, and it's unanimous. You go all over the internet, people are praising the M1 chip, and it has not surprised a lot of people because they were expecting the M1 chip to be great. And with the Mac Mini, Apple has really shown some performance. If you look at Geekbench scores, the single core score basically beats every Mac in existence, including flagship Intel iMacs and iMac Pros. So what that goes to show is that the cores inside the Apple M1 chip are really powerful. And this one has 8 cores of CPU and 8 cores of GPU. And with that, things like render times and basic overall performance from the machine is really impressive. So we did try things like running a Final Cut render, and we ran it with the flagship iMac of 2020, which was just launched a couple of months back. We reviewed it. That has 128 gigabytes of RAM and a dedicated GPU. This has the Apple M1 chip, and the export times on a 4K file, raw file with some edits, were almost identical. And that goes to show that that machine is about 3 lakh rupees. This machine is about 80,000 rupees. And all you need to get started with now editing 4K raw video with Apple's hardware is a Mac Mini, a monitor of your own, a keyboard and mouse of your own, and you're basically ready to go. But there's also another thing that a lot of people seem to ignore, and that is the thermal performance. In the testing that we did and in the renders that we ran, even with the fan ramping up, it did not seem to create a lot of noise, and the machine was mostly quiet. What this shows is that the chip has quite a lot of capability left in it, that it's not reaching that thermal performance. And despite that, we are able to get certain performance capabilities that you don't even get with higher end Macs. The M1 chip also is not supporting currently all software that's out there. So if you are on the Adobe side of things, Photoshop, Illustrator, even Premiere, it's not yet available for the M1, but Adobe is already testing it, and in less than a month or so, they will be released for Apple M1 based Macs. And what that means is that the whole creative community has a really powerful starting point at about 80,000 rupees for this variant, but you can also get a Mac Mini for as low as 60,000 rupees today. And that means that at 60,000 rupees, you can get into really pro level video editing. You can get into really pro level photography editing, and that is just a fantastic thing to look at. But apart from higher end performance, there are certain other things that the M1 chip is capable of. You can see that while using the Mac Mini with the M1 chip, and that is things like jumping between applications or just loading up applications. It's almost instantaneous. And like I said, that is because of Apple putting everything on the M1 chip. The communication timeline between things changes, and because it can deliver that performance almost instantly, you get to see it on your screen almost instantly. So the M1 Mac Mini starts at about 256 gigabyte of storage, but you can upgrade it to up to 2 terabyte of onboard storage. And if you do want a lot of storage, I would recommend that you do it with the native storage, because they do install NVMe SSDs, and that can give you a big boost in performance. If you don't really need the 2500 and up of speed, then what you can do is simply plug in Thunderbolt drives. Samsung makes X5 Thunderbolt external hard drives that do offer up the same sort of performance over Thunderbolt ports, or you can get USB 3 external storages. Again, Samsung makes really good ones, but you do have SSDs available from SanDisk or Kingston, and other brands also make USB-A type external SSDs. Now for video output, you do have the ability to add in a monitor like we have over HDMI. You do have an HDMI 2.0 port on the back, or you can get a display port out via the Thunderbolt port. That will support higher FPS. The HDMI port will support 4K till up to about 60 FPS, which should be more than enough for the kind of performance that you get from a device like this. One limitation that you do have is that you have a single gigabit Ethernet port. So a lot of people who own server farms will not be happy with something like this, or render farms will not be happy with something like this, because 10 gigabit Ethernet is something that was available as an upgrade option with Intel-based Macs. It's not available with the M1 based Mac for now. What is interesting to see is that this is basically the base chip from Apple. This is their entry line chip that they've launched for their Mac Mini and for the MacBook. But what really needs to be seen is what kind of performance we get when Apple does start to release chips for things like the Mac Pro or the iMac Pro or the iMac flagship. When Apple starts to make chips for those level of Macs, we have to see the kind of performance that we're getting, because already this is defeating flagship Intel-based Macs. So what are we going to see when we get flagship Apple Silicon-based Macs? And that is what the exciting part is. This is an excellent machine for somebody who's trying to get into video editing, photo editing, or just wants to use a desktop for everyday use. You can use your old monitor, you can use your old keyboard and mouse, And for a starting price of around 60,000 rupees, this is a fantastic product with the kind of performance it offers right out of the box. If you guys are interested in the Mac Mini, we leave a link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyaan. This has been Bharat. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.